Look at those eyes. He's not okay. Yeah, my plans. You have no plans, Tom. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm distracting myself. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ali and I'm so excited for you to be here with me. If you are new here, we are building a Moroccan Arabian inspired island called Khajibar, and we are up to finding out if we have reached 3 stars yet. So after our last video where I spent over 200 tickets and found one whole villager from our list, I went through and used amiibos and treasure islands to fill out our final list, I guess you could call it. So we now have everyone that we were looking for, and if you did not already know, that is Ruby, Lucky, Savannah, Zell, Keaton, Bangle, Boris, Coco, Anka, and I write his name down as Leo and I forget the whole word. Leonardo, I'm pretty sure it is. And now that I'm saying that, I'm not 100% sure, but that's okay. You know who I'm talking about. But yeah, so we have everyone, we have a bunch of stuff decorated and lots of plants and flowers, etc. Everywhere. So let us go and find out if we are lucky enough to already have 3 stars or if we have more work to do. So I haven't done a lot since our last video. Oh, Zell just singing in the plaza as per usual. Look at him grooving along. He's just the cutest little fella. Anyway, I haven't done a lot since I saw you guys last. What I did do very recently was redesign the flag. So I had just used a code that I found randomly on the portal that I think I got it from Pinterest originally. The Pinterest board is linked in the description, by the way, if you were interested in having a look at that. But I wasn't really sold on it, so I tried my hand at designing my own. Let me know what you guys think. If you think that this really sells the idea of Khajibar, what we're trying to put together here. Let me know what you think. I think it's turned out pretty good. I ended up coming back to it and changing some of the colors, but I think it's all right. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. So let us see if Isabel is going to give us 3 stars or not. I'm never particularly confident about this bit. Okay, let's talk island evals. So you're curious about the current image of Khajibar? I am. Right now, yes! Khajibar has a 3-star rating. We've built a solid reputation and come up during many a water cooler chit-chat. Allow me to read an excerpt from the feedback that I gathered. Khajibar, man, hearing about how chill it is, I'd go if I had the chance. KS. Well, there you have it. Whoa. Am I hallucinating, or was that feedback signed by a KS? Let's just take a breath, Tom. Look at those eyes. He's not okay. Yes, there it is. Very clear. KS. And the penmanship is quite striking, if I do say so myself. Could it be? Can it be? It must be. All right, Tom. That message is from the one and only KK Slider. What? I can't believe it. We've finally achieved our goal of bringing our island to the attention of the KK Slider. I feel like KK has such a chokehold on our Animal Crossing NPCs. Seriously. Not only that, but he said he's looking for an excuse to visit. Then what are we waiting for? Yes, yes. Let's offer him the chance to hold a concert on our shores. Strike while the iron is hot, they say. They do say that. And we'll just casually call up the biggest rock star in Animal Crossing universe. Hello, do I have the pleasure of speaking with a Mr. KK Slider? Yes, yes, I'm with Nook Inc. located on Khajibar. Yes, indeed we did. We greatly appreciate your valuable feedback. That's actually why I'm calling. If you're truly interested in visiting Mr. Slider, we would be happy to host you in your musical stylings. What is that face, Tom? Like, what? I don't understand. Is that meant to be, like, is he feeling bashful about this? Or is this like a sly sort of look? I'm not here for that one. Yes, quite. I see. Oh my, you mean? Thank you so much. Yes, I'll be sure to mail you all the details straight away. The entire island will be looking forward to it. Thank you again. Yes, yes, talk to you soon. So, what did he say? He'll do the concert. That's right, KK Slider is coming here. Amazing! Congratulations, sir. He could be here as soon as tomorrow, but he has to check his schedule, of course. Of course he does. He's a busy dog. Ali! Can you believe it? We've finally turned our goal into a reality. I don't know about this wee business. I turned your goal into a reality. We'll spread news of the concert via our island broadcast system. I do hope you'll be in attendance, Ali. You simply must hear KK play. Yes, yes, you must. I actually don't think we have a choice of whether or not we hear KK play. We just have to hear him play and then have to watch the credits roll. Okay, well, now that that's underway, how exciting. I'm very glad that we didn't have to do any extra stuff, to be perfectly honest. I hate it when they give you a 2-star and you're like, are you joking me right now? Like, I've done all these things, I put all this stuff out, and you are going to just offend me and all of my sensibilities. But luckily for us today, that is not the case. So I have a couple of creatures to quickly give to Blathers, and then we will time travel to the next day. Okay, you go. Oh, hello, Lucky. I wanted to show you a reaction today, but now I can't remember what it was. It was that one. If you forget something, just use mistaken, just like that. Sometimes it's fun to do it just cause. Where does that star even come from? Lucky asking the real questions out here. He's so cute and silly. I learned the mistaken reaction. Oh, whoopsie. Okay. Anyway, yeah, go and do your zoomies, Lucky. Good job. Good job, little buddy. Yes. Anyway, so I will time travel to the next day and we will get through our mandatory KK concert. Hey Khajibar, it's really groovy being here today. Feels like this dream I once had when I was just a scruffy pup with a shoebox guitar. I was dreaming of hitting out on my own, wandering wherever my road would take me. Dreaming of finding a magical place where cool cats like you would come together to see a stray like me. Aww. Sorry about that, I do run on. Time to get your fingers snapping. Right on. This one goes out to all you cool cats on Khajibar. I call it Welcome Horizons. Get it, KK? I do love that it turns like pitch black as if we're not actually enjoying a concert, but we're going to tell ghost stories. So I will not subject you guys to all of the credits. I will see you when this is finished. Thank you so much. Maybe I'll catch you next time. Oh, we clapped the longest. That's embarrassing. Oh, hello Tom. Ever the creeper. Hello Ali. Did you enjoy KK's concert? It was wonderful, wasn't it? I'm overjoyed that we could get him to play here. It's a special thing for sure. As a commemorative gift, I have his song Welcome Horizons for you. You could have posted that, Tom. You didn't actually have to hand deliver it. To listen to it, you'll need an item that can play music, and I do hope you enjoy it. Ah, I have some big news too. KK is apparently very fond of our island now. He's going to perform a show here every Saturday evening from now on. It really is amazing. Khajibar was once a deserted island, but now we can host important concerts. I'm so thankful to you and everyone else on this island. I guess my getaway package idea is a success. I hope Khajibar remains an enjoyable place to live for a long time to come. With your help, it will. What do you mean, help? I'm carrying this team. Speaking of which, I've developed a new app that should help you make the island even more inviting. Let me send it to you now. Yes, please do. Gimme, gimme. Huzzah, Island Designer. Thank you very much. The app I've just sent you is called Island Designer. Yes, I gathered that, thank you. It's a special app from Nook Inc. that gives residents the ability to take part in bold island development. That's one way to phrase it. At first, you'll only have permission to create paths, but you can use your miles to access more options like different kinds of paths and permits for changing our cliffs and rivers. Once you get a taste of island design, I think you'll want more. That's debatable. I encourage you to obtain all the necessary permits. Of course you do. Yes, Khajibar has come a long way. I think I'll leave more and more of the future development of this island in the hands of its residents. It's just me, Tom. It's just me. Nobody else is developing. I'm glad we had this talk, Ali. On behalf of Nook Inc., I'm excited about our continued partnership and your Khajibar plans. Yeah, my plans. You have no plans, Tom. Now that KK has performed, it's time to focus on making island life better and better. That means living each day to the fullest, doing things I like, and having lots of fun. That is very optimistic. I mean, I'm sure we'll have some fun, obviously. But lots of fun? I don't know. Okay, oh, it's Savannah. Look who's here. How have you been? I feel like there was something I've been meaning to tell you. Y'all, what was it? Oh well, it's gone. Alrighty then. I know, okay. I was away for a little bit. What have we got in here? Oh, a note from Mum. As I greet the new year, I've decided to become one of those fancy hobby people. If my creativity were a flower, it would be in full bloom. Cute. I love the Mum postcards. They're probably, like, I always keep the ones from our villages when they send them, and I always keep the Mum ones because they're just really sweet. They're very cute. I can see Zell back there thinking, you will be doing no thinking, my sir. My sir? My good sir is what I meant. Oh, Ali, I'm glad you're here. I know it's not my usual style to be serious, but I'm trying to make an important decision. The decision is out of your hands, Zell. You're not going anywhere. Should I move away from Khajibar? I feel like the bright lights of another island are calling me. Well, you will not be answering that call, Zell. You cannot go. Whoa, I didn't know you felt that way. How could I leave one of my biggest fans high and dry? Sure. That's it then. Decision made. The Zell Mystery Tour is postponed indefinitely. That is correct. Once you enter this island, you do not leave. We've got everyone that we need, and that's the way that it's going to stay. Okay, so what we will do a little bit of now is clearing up some of this mess and some chit chat. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to get our permits ready. Look at Isabel sniffing that flower. Does that smell good? Is that delicious? Yeah, you spray that flower. Okay, let's get some permits. Okay, sorry, I'm not doing the pro decorating license because I will be completing the Happy Home Paradise, so we're not going to worry about that for now because they refund you the miles anyway, so there's no point. I'll just wait, and we're not going to be doing interiors for a while. So let's get our landscaping and waterscaping permits sorted, and we will of course be using sand as in-game pathing. I always forget if they give you that one for free. I don't think they do. I think it's just the regular dirt, isn't it? What have we got here? Yeah, sand you have to pay for. That's fine. I have several miles, as you can see. Just a couple. So we are going to, while I get these permits, so I had been doing some thinkings. I know that is a dangerous thing to be doing, but we did it anyway. Yes, I've been doing some thinkings because I wanted for this island to really have like a story feel to it. I'm sorry, my S's are so sharp today. Yeah, I wanted for this island to have like a real story feel to it. That's not what I wanted to do. In terms of like why all of these villages are here, you know what I mean? And so I basically outlined what everyone is here for. So all of our villages have some sort of a role or a place on this island, and they've all got a little bit of a backstory now. So this is something that I don't typically do for every island that I put together, but I have done it a couple of times, and I forget how much fun it is to come up with like little stories about our villages and, you know, what they do and why they do it and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, so I will go through some of those while we tidy things up in the back end of this video. Oh, look at these guys eating ice creams together. That's adorable. That is way too cute. Look at Anka. She's so upset all the time. Lol. Okay, anyway, getting sidetracked. Oh, I need to move all these flowers too. We're not going to do that first. Okay, so as I get rid of all of these things, let's talk about our villages. And first on the list is Ruby, just there. So we had already decided pretty much from the beginning really that if she was going to be on this island, she was going to be our oracle sort of character. So, and that's partly because, I mean, look at her. She's an albino rabbit, right? She's got the red eyes. She definitely looks like she's seen some things. So it just makes sense for her to be an oracle type of character on this island. So we're not necessarily going like full mystical, magical place, if that makes sense. But, you know, everything has to have a little bit of magic injected into it, right? Otherwise, what's the point? It's not fun otherwise. So she is our oracle who has a temple in the desert, basically. So if you go to the community posts, there's a map there that I put together of our island that basically lays out. Are you right there, Savannah? Yes, that basically lays out roughly where I want everything to go. And so there is going to be quite a large section. I don't want to put that away yet. Quite a large section that is just desert, and I want to put in that desert an oasis and a temple sort of space for Ruby. And yeah, so I'm not 100% sure if I want to put her house out there as well, or if I just want to make a temple and then like we just know that that's where she goes, kind of thing, to like receive, you know, wisdom and visions and things like that from the gods of this island. But either way, so yeah, so her temple and an oasis will go in the desert, and then yeah, I want the majority of that area to be as blank as possible, like just sand, you know, because that gives that I'm distracting myself. Yeah, so that, you know, just gives that little bit more like mystery when you come upon the oasis and the temple. So we're gonna do that, and then yeah, and so like her little backstory sort of section that I wrote down was that she was originally just like a wandering stargazer who followed a vision that she had to the desert of our island, and she basically built her temple near. I'm gonna catch that bug. I'm so sorry, I keep distracting myself from my own story. Yeah, she built her temple near the oasis, and yeah, so basically she built that temple near the oasis as like a sacred spring kind of situation, and she essentially hears like the desert sands whisper to her, you know, like she's got that kind of vibe, and I feel like she would be looked upon by the rest of the villagers kind of like Bruno in Encanto, you know how how, you know, the whole family basically shuns him and all of that sort of stuff for his visions. I feel like Ruby has that kind of vibe for some of the villagers, right? Like some of them obviously would go to her for guidance and stuff like that, but some of the villagers would look upon her visions and prophecies and stuff as a negative, right? And so that is part of why I'm thinking, do I put her house out in the desert near the temple as well, and or I guess do I incorporate the house into the temple? I'm not sure how that would work, but we could potentially make that happen, and then the interior of her house would be like the interior of a sacred temple, you know what I mean? That could be cool. That could be cool. Lucky is like, obviously he's dressed as a mummy, right? So we kind of have to play into that a little bit. So he is essentially our guardian of the island ruins and ancient tomb, like a catacomb kind of vibe is how I was thinking. And we would say that he was cursed centuries ago, right? After entering a forgotten tomb. And he doesn't actually realize that that's what happened to him. So he just goes about his business thinking that he is still his regular alive dog self that he used to be, right? He doesn't actually understand that he's essentially undead, I guess. And he doesn't fully understand why not everyone is heaps keen to be around him, because he doesn't know that he has a creepy vibe. And I feel like that level of ignorance really fits with Lucky as a lazy villager, right? Because they just are so silly. And so part of his story is that like Ruby says that his soul is tied to the tomb that he was cursed in, and so he can't leave it, and he can't leave this island because he's tied here, like for the rest of eternity, I guess. But yeah, so that's Lucky. Savannah is a little bit less of a tragic story. She will be our caravan keeper and sort of specialized horse breeder. I don't know if you guys know much about different horse breeds, but there is a particular breed that is called, tell me if I get this wrong, but it's an Arabian breed. And they were literally bred for fast running through the desert, right? So they're very hardy, they're fast runners and all of that sort of stuff. So she breeds them and is in charge of the caravans and stuff for like the island merchants and all of that sort of stuff. And so part of her story is that she was actually born to a family of desert traders, and she just has like a gift, a knack for breeding. And she decided that she didn't want to do the trading lifestyle and, you know, go from village to village, island to island, I guess you could say. And so she settled here for a bit of a more peaceful lifestyle. So she likes to go slow, right? And then who else have we got? Zell is our court entertainer, musician kind of guy. We saw him singing earlier, so obviously he enjoys music. I'm pretty sure he has the music hobby as well. And so yeah, so he used to be a traveling performer, right? And he was invited to stay here on this island by Blathers, our museum curator, because he just enjoyed Zell's music and his vibe so much. So he lives here on this island at the behest of Blathers, our museum curator, and he essentially, you know, he just rocks around writing ballads about the island's past and sometimes writes about Ruby's visions. So that is Zell's vibe. That is not correct. There we go. And then Keaton. I was really struggling to come up with something for Keaton because, I mean, most of these villages I've not had before, but some of them I just had a stronger picture in my mind of what I wanted them to be and do. And Keaton, I just wasn't really sure on for a while. But looking at his colouring and everything, he's sort of modelled after, like, obviously he's an eagle villager, but he's more modelled on like a parrot sort of bird. You know, like he has markings like the blue and gold macaws. And I realised that he kind of reminds me of Cass from Breath of the Wild, right? If you guys don't remember who Cass is, he's a Rito villager who are also birds, and he just rocks around it at various places, singing ballads about the past and all of that sort of stuff. Like he sings about the lore of the whole Legend of Zelda history and all of that sort of stuff. I didn't explain that very well, but those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Keaton reminds me of him a little bit, and so I sort of thought that he could be like a sky messenger courier. Like obviously being a bird, he can fly between islands, right? So he can be that kind of courier messenger kind of guy, and at the same time a storyteller, right? So he is like a noble messenger who's come from the far west to come out here to this island, and he brings with him, every time that he travels between various islands, he brings with him stories, and he tells stories about where he's been and who he has interacted with and all of that sort of stuff. And I just think that would be super cute. Oh, a hand washing area, lovely. Oh, and then we have our two main merchants are Bangle and Boris. So Boris was another one that I was struggling for a minute with what I actually wanted him to kind of do, like what I wanted his vibe to look like here. I knew right away that I wanted him like on the island, and then once I got him I was like, okay, so now what? And I've worked it out, and then Bangle as well. So they are our two merchants on this island. Okay, so Boris is our rug maker and stonemason or stone cutter, and he basically is the creator of all of the designs and patterns that we have on Khajibar for like all of our rugs and you know, the patterned tiles, like the custom design tiles is what I'm thinking of. So he is the creator of all of that sort of stuff, right? And he is basically just a grumpy artisan, which makes sense, right? You can see that he's a grumpy fella. He's got a perfectionist streak in him. And, you know, so he's always very self-critical, which can relate. He's very well known and revered for his skills. Like everyone really respects what he does, even though he's such a grump and he complains about everything all the time. And then Bangle is our silk and spice merchant, right? So because we're obviously going to have quite a few spaces around the sort of village-ish area where I want most, if not all, of the houses to be. We're gonna have like a whole souk merchant space, and so Bangle has the most vibrant store, right? Like you can see it. She has a vibrant personality, being a peppy, so it only makes sense that she should also have a very vibrant stall to sell her wares at. And her little backstory that I have put together is that she essentially gave up a merchant empire that she inherited from her family so that she could just trade casually face to face. Like she likes to be with the people. And what is Lucky thinking about? He's going to give me something, isn't he? Oh, I'm glad I ran into you. Feels like I've been looking for you forever. I just saw you earlier, bud. But any time off my couch feels like forever, so it might only been a few minutes. Okay. Anyway, I found that thing you were looking for. You know, the apron. Was I looking for that? Huh? Maybe it was a dream I had. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell dreams and not dreams apart. Oh well, ain't important because it's yours now, Rouch. That's an interesting catchphrase. Thank you so much, lucky for the apron. Anyway, if I was dreaming or not, I hope you like it, Rouch. I don't enjoy saying that catchphrase. Anyway, okay, thanks for that, buddy. So what was I saying? Yes, so Bangle enjoys, you know, like getting in there and actively trading with her customers. You know, she likes to be on the ground, as it were. So she gave up the empire so that she could come here and have just a cute little merchant stall and essentially be in everybody's business, because part of being a face-to-face trader in a, you know, a small village town situation, right, is that you would know all of the tea, right? So she is just right up in it. She knows all the tea, she knows what everyone's up to and, you know, where they're going and what they're doing and all of that sort of stuff. And she also knows exactly what you're looking for as a customer. Every time you visit her stall, you walk away with something, even if that wasn't necessarily the something that you had come there for. So she's just an adorable, bright, vibrant gossip, and we love her for it. And then, who have we got left? Okay, so Coco. I wanted Coco to have a bit of a mysterious vibe to her, mostly because of the fact that, you know, she is clearly an overgrown gyroid clay type of creation, right? And it just made sense to not try and make her like a normal, regular, everyday kind of character, even though she is a normal villager type, which is hilarious because she's one of the least normal character designs that you will see. But so she is going to be our sort of clay shrine guardian type of character, and then also a bit of a traveler guide. And what I mean by that is just for the campsite, right? Because we always like for our campsite to feel as though it is used, right? So Coco is our guide for our campsite villagers. So anyone who comes to stay at that campsite will encounter Coco, and she will help you to get where you need to be safely. So she's sort of a spiritual guide as much as she is a physical safety kind of guide. But yeah, I want to put together something that kind of resembles a shrine that is potentially made of clay, or at least looks like it's made of clay. And she was sort of drawn to it, and that's why she hangs around up there. And at the same time, we are like in our island lore, okay, Coco is basically older than the island itself, right? And Ruby has come up with this because Ruby obviously has that spiritual connection. So Ruby has told us all that Coco is basically born of the earth, right? She's so old, no one has an actual idea of how old she is or where she really came from. She has just always been here, right? And so she's sort of like, she's got that part spirit, part like clay golem kind of a vibe, like, you know, from like Jewish lore, the golems. That's kind of what I'm picturing in my head for Coco. And then we have Anka, whose house this is that we're in front of right now. So Anka was another one that I was a little bit unsure of what I wanted to do for her, mostly because she is like so Egyptian coded. She gives such a royal vibe, but I didn't want to just go ahead and say, okay, well, Anka is, you know, like a royal Egyptian visiting our island, or, you know, she ran away from palace life to come and have an easier approach and all of that sort of stuff. Like, I didn't want to give her the Princess Jasmine treatment, I guess. And so I basically turned her story into a lie. So she's not actually royal, nor is she the royal emissary that she pretends to be. So she runs around here insisting that everyone addresses her with formal titles and all of that sort of stuff. She tells all sorts of stories about her homeland and the supposed palace that she left behind to come and live here on Khajibar, right? But in actual fact, she was just a servant girl. She was just a plain Jane service girl in the palace. You know, like servant vibe is what I'm thinking in my brain. And the palace and the dynasty that she was serving collapsed, leaving her, you know, homeless essentially. And so in her journey here, she rebranded herself basically and has turned herself into a much more important person than what she really was. And so she surrounds herself with all this gold and glitz and glamour to cover up the fact that deep down she is just a regular cat. And so, you know, the other villagers just accept that at face value, right? Why would they have any reason to not believe her? And so Ruby is the only one who doesn't believe what Anka says about herself, and that would make sense, right? Because Ruby's got that spirit connection, so she knows and sees a lot more than the rest of us do. So we accept Anka as the royal emissary that she says she is, because we have no reason to not believe her. But Ruby, on the other hand, does not believe her, and she suspects the truth behind Anka's lies. Lucky, on the other hand, being the lovable idiot that he is, and we love our lazy villagers for this personality trait, I think. Lucky is very loyal to Anka and will not hear a bad word about her. And then last but not least is Leonardo, our leopard printed tiger villager. So I think he's our only jock. I was going to say sporty, but that's not what they're called. And so it would be fitting that as our only jock, he is essentially our combat trainer. So he oversees what will be known as the June Ring, as in D-U-N-E, June. And he hosts, you know, athletic games and that sort of stuff at festivals and important events. Yes, I know words. Yeah, so he oversees that. He teaches any young adventurers that come our way how to fight, basically, how to defend themselves. And he calls himself champion of the desert. Okay, it's a little much, I know, but he is very excited about this. So we let him have it. Nobody actually cares that much. So he calls himself champion of the desert. And he boasts that he is undefeated in combat, although no one actually knows if anyone's ever challenged him for real. So he could be undefeated purely because no one cares to actually fight him. And then he essentially, you know, obviously he gets along with everyone. Oh my goodness. Oh, did he stop singing? Oh, Zell was singing again. Super cute. Oh no, there he goes. Yes, Zell, get it. No, don't jam with me, you sing. Oh, It's too cute. Anyway, sorry. The last thing that I wanted to say about Leonardo was just that he gets along with pretty much everyone, but he clashes playfully from his end with Boris about who is actually the true master of their craft, because obviously Leo is champion of the desert. You know, he is actually the top dog, whereas Boris is very well respected on the island for his craft. So they have arguments about that every now and then, and of course Leo thinks that it's just jokes, it's not that deep, but I feel like it would be a lot deeper for Boris, being the grumpy perfectionist that he is. Okay, so now that I've laid all of that out and thoroughly exhausted myself in the process, we will say our goodbyes here, I think, because I don't have any other nice backgrounds to say goodbye against anymore because I've taken it all away. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here with me today and listening to my ramblings about our villages. If you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons. And we have a Discord server now, so I would love to see you guys over there as well, so that we can have chats about our villages. I would love to know what you guys are up to as well on your islands. What are you working on? What are your themes? What are we doing? Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.